studio. In hustle. My people dead. My people suffer. Them they pray for blessing. My people dead. Them they pray for blessing. For better living. Kilo dale. Aye ole to yo. Aye oni double. Adura lo le show. Call on daddy. Adura go. Issue any badele. I am feeling good tonight. This thing got me thanking God for life. Oh, I can't explain. I can't explain. Yeah. I am feeling good tonight. This thing got me thanking God for life. I can't explain. I can't explain. I say, here you ever. They know my story. From old dogs to you. I be hustle to walk. Say, here you ever. Me and see. From old dogs to you. We been hustle to walk. See, I should have put money. But you do my love shady. But I am the one you was on. But you do my own.
He takes you to the edge. The Cutting Edge. It's new to Luca. Wednesdays, 11 to 2 on IRIE FM.
This thing got me thanking God for life. Oh, I can't explain. I can't explain. Yeah. I'm feeling good tonight. This thing got me thanking God for life. I can't explain. I can't explain.
Thought-provoking, always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Muta Baruka.
Tonight we gon' drop it like it's hot. My ladies and my fellas ain't no stopping till we drop. Me who a Barbie, or she fine dress pa. Me who for Fairby, or yeah me highness pa. Mommy when I ain't go to the bar, let's get a drink, then we have a little dance. You can tell me what you think. My whole crew's turning up, yeah D&E. Feel free to join our parties, I'm on D&E. Everybody's on a mad wave. I don't even know the time. Can we bust a little wine, baby? Do it for the vine. My member son of Dean. I'll see your friend Gina. She'd be lucky I ain't fused. I'll be looking for Tina. I know you got the phone call tonight. So make sure I see you all tonight. Make we ball tonight. See your body won't fall tonight. Make sure you're looking fly tonight. Baby wine for your guy tonight. Everybody getting down tonight.
Chizungu zungu. Chizungu zungu. Living a life. Living a life. Living a life. Living a life. Bless gosh. God is everything. There's a man. God is everything. Yeah. You come at the head of it. Sing it up. Almost in a walk over. Sing it up. Get it number one. Sing it up. You got them sugar. Sing it up. Got them sugar. Sing it up. Sing it up. Almost in a walk over. Sing it up. Get it number one. Sing it up. You got them sugar. Sing it up. Got them sugar. Simple, simple. Sing it up. Funakakeka wotula tugende mu maaso kutere papa nakabuzi tunyumye mukwano
Mwana muzitipo Nechuri mkuwa koshina Anastasia mubamucho Kupo bima enju Asibiri bibi bamba bamba Yafuna mwekunje Ebyeti ya yabicha yoroka God fast, God fast, God fast yeah. Empare sayamara Sigido Omusina wakuba Sigido Get a hit number one Sigido They got him shugade Sigido Got him shugade Sigido Empare sayamara Sigido Omusina wakuba Sigido Get a hit number one Sigido They got him shugade Sigido Got him shugade Simpare, simpare Sigido Ulaye, ulaye Simpare, simpare It's a matter of time, let me say. Just see me, biri bamba bam bam bam. Oh mama bamba bam bam bam. Yabaga mbali kola kabaka. Awa ite munjem kunyumire. Nantinga bonye kunje kubaya pasakala nanja musite. Sigido, omalaye, omalaye. Sigido na na. Na 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 na. Sagasa.
Yes, good night. This is the Cutting Edge and I refer you there with you next Wednesday. You know, so the operator inside, so I tell me must get up and dance. The operator come inside and say, Bhutan, we light them through there, don't get up and dance, so you dance them. You know, see me dancing at the chair. Eh? Yeah, this is modern day African music. It's how the youth them are dancing in Africa right now, yes. Modern day African music. It's all like dancehall music, don't it?
I can't explain. I can't explain. I'm feeling good tonight. This thing got me thinking of life. I can't explain. I can't explain. Are you feeling good tonight?
Sound Radio.
This thing got me thinking of life. I just can't explain. I can't explain, no.
Yeah. Look. It's gonna be a long, long time before we stop. Boy, they better know who make the scene pop. All I ever needed was a chance to get the team hot. Only thing I fear is a headshot or a screenshot. Pre-me, them a pre-me. You know they only call me when they need me. I never go anywhere, they never see me. I'm the type to take it easy, take it easy. I took girls in the very first text I sent. I don't beg no lovers, I don't beg no friends. If you wanna link, we can link right now. Skeppy, Wiz, and Drake, it's a ting right now. Are you feeling good tonight?
Rantan and Weezy for ya. Everything bend down, pause. Maybe just 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 bend down, pause. Who be that? I say who be that? Who be that girl with the big lash? Tell me say your name when I share the fast. Share the body chocolate and the kitty cat.
Yeah, as we say good night. And we are telling you say as sound as simple as it may sound and as strange as it might sound to you. All of them 5 tunes that we just play a while ago. And number 1 hits. Right across Africa, we are talking about Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda. Which part else again? Rwanda, Kenya, Tanzania. Yes. At least the youth them a dance now. Yes. The Fela Kuti and the Salif Keita and all people music like me, you know. Baby, give me one last week to go. And the feeling for body and soul. When you whine me low. Baby, dance with the melody, yo. I got the girl them for the melody, yo. That's why the girl them follow me, yo. Oh, baby, so, here we are going to do tonight, you know. We want you to all the people in St. Thomas again, you know. What I tell you, St. Thomas. Me last, my phone, when the whole world here, I know all people call me from Friday ask me, Muta, you fight back your phone? Me last, my phone, you know, right on the step of the old courthouse. Bundong courthouse. Me sit down, and you know, other people, them cause it, you know. Because me sit up, me tell one lady where I work for the council woman, and I say, look here, me nah go to the front, go sit down, you know. Because them have church service, some church business are going on the stage, and I say, me not going around there because I'm going to go disturb the church, the service. Bring a chair, me sit down around at the back. Me sit down around at the back, you know. Quite comfortable around at the back, you know. Me and man get up on the stage. I want to heal up, move to Baruch behind the stage. I won't tell you if you say that now. Everything done to rotted. Me say, me never know say poor people have so much Galaxy phone and snap, hey, the thing them bright, you know, you have to hold up your hand in your face, so, you know, the way the man them a slap picture, the woman them a slap picture, you know. Me, they don't know, I say, oh, you don't snap my picture, me don't get no snap either. You take out my phone and snap, I forget, say, me put it in my lap. Me know me put it in my lap, you know, and I sit down and I talk. But you know, so me forget, say, the phone in my lap, and me get up, and the phone drop on the ground. Me know how that happen, you know, the phone drop on the ground, because 2 times it happen, you know. But see, the last time now, Chumu well one left there. Because we said the next morning, I have to come back there. Then I go back at the hotel room and I look for the phone, no route, no hotel. I drive, go back down there, you know. But you know, say by that time, somebody find the phone. Anyway, the people might say, Muta, you get back your phone, man. No worry yourself, no worry yourself. Well, you know something, me not worry, you know. Me not worry, believe you me. Whether I get it back or not, me not worry. But me love get it back because I have a whole heap of information in there. Whole heap of phone number in there where very important to me. The phone number there, more than anything else. Very important to me. A whole heap of music where me download. Where people send me for me email. Yeah, man, I never hear him children say, hey, you see that boy over there, Muta. You know, like me send him a tune email and me not hear it. Me I tell you, brethren, me download it before and them thief before. Well, I say them thief it. Me not say them thief it. Me I say somebody find my phone. With enough music in there where people give me for play upon the radio. Me I tell you, enough tune in there where people give me for play upon the radio. So you me make an appeal, you know. Me make an appeal to all the people them who know me number. Me want you text me your number and your name. That me can get back my number them.
What message you gonna get?
No, me don't want no message from nobody, you know. Me don't want no message, no love message from no woman. And no. Hey, me don't like a boy the message from the woman, you know. Me want any man who knows say. A woman who knows say, me supposed to have him number. More you just text me back your number and your name. That me can put it back in our phone whenever I get a good phone again. Because believe you me not gonna make my life turn upside down too. One little Galaxy last, you know. Me not gonna do it. I refuse to make it get me down. I want to get back my phone, but if I don't get it back, more tough luck. So you hear me I say now. I would have liked anybody out there who
usually communicate with me, send back them number and them name beside it. Text it. Text it. Trust me, I'm going to get the text. Understand? Because, well, it's not nice. It's not nice. Certain number me lose, I know me, I tell you, say them people there go vex because they go say, you so long me email Muta and them no email me. So long me send Muta my phone number if he call me back and him no call me back. Some student, you know, you have some student out there where invite me at them school, you know, me send them my number and say, alright, so my number here. No, them go to all email me back and me no text me, text me back and me no know. Anyway, that's how it go. You know, say, once again, IRFM have done it again. Draw out the people them to come out to a very major historical event. The trial of Governor Erie. And you know, say, believe you me, if you never did it, man, trust me, man, you miss a presentation that, wow. Well, it's for all those who wasn't there and for all those who gone to church and come back late from church and never hear nothing. We're going to play the trial in its entirety tonight. Yeah, we're going to play the whole of the trial. For those of you who did not listen to the last part and couldn't hear it because Big A come in with the gospel show and never hear the end of it, you're going to hear the part too. All the things that you never hear, you're going to hear the whole light. You're going to hear where we did say and where the people them outside did say and hear. So, what you know, say, yes, IRFM they have please you. Because all the people say, Muta, you know, so me never hear it. I go around and I'm hungry today. I tell you, I'm going around and I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm going around and I'm hungry today. The ones that never hear it. As a matter of fact, some man tell me, say, boy, football, I go and say, football, I go and 8 o'clock in the morning. I bet you don't know local football. As some British, as some England football, I go and, you know. I bet you, if 2 African teams did not play, they would have hear it. If 2 African teams did not play, you would have hear, they would have hear, we're going to have Morant Bay, you know. But that's how we stay here, you know. That's why the man talk about, you know, we don't know nothing about no African actor. We don't know nothing about the African football. We don't know nothing about Africa. But as it come on to Angelique Gillard and Kim Kardashian and all them people, they will know it by the hook or the crook. I watch some things on TV where they talk about what's happening. And to them, what is happening is what's happening in America, you know. They won't even have something happening in Jamaica, you know. Them can't clear America, go hear about this, that. That's why the man say, what would we tell all of those men who did fight for liberation today? What would we say to them today? You know, say, Nigeria produce more movies than Hollywood. You know, say, India have the biggest movie production, Bollywood. Well, people don't know that, you know. I just recently know, we say, some soap opera from Africa accompany TV. I know it's the Indian opera soap accompany TV. People kind of get a little insight, though very fictitious, into, you know, just how people looking at India and how the African them talk and go on. A woman similar JP said that and I say, Africa you come from? We say, where we can say. I saw me see them just in the show them on TV. So at least somebody can identify them. We say, they know Africa, you come. I said, what's up? So what's your name? And she really never know me. I'm glad that you never know me too, you see. Glad that you never know me. So what's your name? We know, me say, Muta Baruka. Say, are you there, Muta Baruka? Lord God. You know, something listen every Thursday. In a Jamaica public service, everybody sit up there. Me say, if I could have sing it, I'd go and sing it, I'd go and because she started out quiet, you know. She started out very quiet, you know. And the whole place pack up, you know. The whole place pack. She said, then tell me something. Are you Muta Baruka Pichu? You know, something listen to you every Thursday. Every Thursday, I listen to you. But you can't make me laugh. You see, I say, all right, Mama, all right. I'll take you. Anyway, we're going to play back the tape. As the people them can't hear what actually go on down there. Click it.
Mosquitoes will breed in containers that hold water. Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, buckets, and tanks, or cover the water surface with cooking oil. Punch holes in all tins, plastic containers, and boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover old ties or fill with dirt. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs and dispose of garbage by placing in plastic bags. Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. A message from the Ministry of Health.
All I want for Christmas is
you are the key to cash alive. Only for money I go in my pocket, $1 million I get for life. My got you a Frey and nephew, Appleton special at Charlie's JB. Text the code win prizes we say, over 350 winners every day. Daily phone can't give away, Christmas I got turn up with the queue that we say. You are the key to cash for life, win $1 million every year for life. Enter for a chance to win this Christmas, the queue are the key to cash for life.
Years old, it's a drink response.
We are one step closer to a winner being crowned in the Flow Super Cup. The quarterfinals kick off this Saturday, October 31 at 4 p.m. from the National Stadium with doubleheader St. Elizabeth Technical High versus St. Jago High, and at 6 p.m. Excelsior High versus Jamaica College. The second doubleheader comes from Sabina Park with Glenmere High versus St. George's College at 4 p.m. and Clarendon College versus Woolmers at 6 p.m. Tickets available at select Flow locations in Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, and St. Elizabeth. See Facebook.com/Flow Jamaica. The Flow Super Cup, brought to you by Pepsi, Nike, Huawei, and the Jamaica Observer.
It's a massive stage show and dance called Your Love is Shining on Saturday, November 7th at Chris Lawn, Lorimer's Trelawney, featuring DJ Danny English, Tugsy Malone, Cuba Dan, Sound, King Harmony, Swash International, Outlaw, all hosted by yours truly, GT Taylor. Admission $200.
Please strong on the battlefield.
Your Love is Shining, Saturday, November 7th, Chris Lawn, Lorimer's Trelawney. This is going to be massive.
It's a need.
007 legend, number 34. Daniel Craig does his own stunts. And so can you. Roll into a supermarket near you and pick up a special edition Heineken 6-pack to get a free Bond giveaway while supplies last. Take home a piece of action and live legendary. Heineken. Must be 18 years or older. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Thursday afternoon from 12:15 to 1:15 on Easy Skanking. We heights up heart, mind, and soul to soul.
Then testosterone element. Show the wicked nation. Live world.
Yes, Rasta. Step in Razor. Thursdays 2 to 6 p.m. Pan Irie. Come with an open mind. Open your mind. Don't just hear. Listen. This is not radio. This is Irie FM. Dangerous.
Step in, Razor. This and every Thursday, 2 to 6 p.m. Yes, Rasta. The art of war.
Everything you always wanted to say, but didn't.
Forward.
It's Christmas, welcome to the chorus line.
Give me some of this, give me some of that. Anything you want, shop at Christmas. New room, new tunes, best prices off up on credit card, cash in a furniture. How we have the best brand appliances, how we have the name brand computers, laptop, tablets, TV, fridge.
It's game on this October at Courts. Pay nothing down on 3 to 36 months and get a $5,000 voucher with select purchases. Plus, you could win a brand new car and more.
It's Christmas, welcome to the chorus line.
Courts, bringing value home.
It's a massive pre-Christmas sale at TNT Liquidators, Backstreet Great Pond, Ocho Rios, former location of Wasi Arts. Everything must go to make way for Christmas stock. We have office furnitures, dentist chairs, appliances, microwaves, refrigerators, stoves, and so much more. Wholesale prices when you buy 3 or more. 50% off selected items. 2-for-1 specials on petty bats. TNT Liquidators, Backstreet Great Pond, Ocho Rios. Telephone 974-8908. TNT Liquidators.
Yes, cutting edge. You know, Bert Samuels. You know, somebody come get you for write my biography, you know. Trust me. The man good Rasta. The man can write. Believe you me, the man can write. I don't know if they're going to see me in the liar position again. After Sunday, I'm gonna switch professions, man. But you can write, brethren. Yeah, man. Bert Samuels can write. I mean, the man catch a thing. You know, the most fascinating person in that thing that to me, you know, is the mother, you know. The mother, the Paul Bogle mother. She, I mean, like, you could have feel it when she attack inside of the courthouse, you know. You could have feel it, man, when she attack. But you're going to hear it tonight. You're going to hear it tonight. I will give thanks for the situation we find ourselves in, that we can really be a part of these historical events. Yeah, we feel good for know so we can be right in the center of these historical events. Okay, so we never tell you, yeah, but we're going to tell you, say, Stepping Razor, I go venture Negril. The 12th, at the 12th, 2020 they already still, you know, 2020, there's some picture the other day there, I tell you, man, she never have nothing to climb up and again for no more back shot. So she really takes some good picture. She takes some good picture that Sunday there. Good picture. And at time she never climb up nowhere. But we are gonna go on the grill for the High Times cup. Alright, we're gonna get it straight and mention it. But at the first Stepping Razor go venture out there. You know, so from there one time Cutting Edge go out there now. Cutting Edge go out there, I think last year up Great Huts in a Portland one night. Well, it's at the first Stepping Razor go step out there. And we are going to have one very important event in a Negril. Understand? So people in a Negril, we're dead there. Trust me, we're dead there. Okay. So we are prepared ourselves to play this trial here. Replaying up this trial here. Because me I tell you, if you miss it, you can't afford to miss it now. Call your friend them, you know. Because we're going to play this now and we're not play it again till all 50 years time, you know. Yes. Or we're going to have to go play. Hey, I wonder who my grandson, pick me. I go try in a this crap a politician there. 100 years time. I wonder who I go up on trial in a this crap a politician will run the country. Because as a politician, you know, governor here was put there by England. He was representing England. When he decides he will call a martial law upon Jamaica and take people from all places and bring them come around if you hang them and all them way there. So we are saying now you have some representatives of the Queen in a Jamaica here, so in a parliament. I wonder which one of these will go down in history as the person who need to be tried and found guilty of the massacre of many Jamaican people by way of unemployment, starvation, lack of education, and lack of just simple amenities that is necessary to make life meaningful to the people them. I wonder who we're going to try. Because I believe you, me, you know, if it's 100 or 200 years, me I go let them for that trial there. Whether it's 100 years or 200 years, I will be there for that trial. Rest assured. Okay. Cutting Edge. IRFM.
Rantan and Weezy, car, yeah, from everything, man. Baby, just bend down, pause. 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 Who be that? I say who be that? Who be that girl with the big ass? Tell me say your name when I share the fast. Share the body chocolate like a kitty cat. Bring it back, oh baby, bring it back, oh. See the way you want like you could clean that, oh. Oh my God,
look at that overload, cause it's let's go slow. So we see the other big man, plenty money, but I don't I be number one, I know they carry last. I feel like a fancy meal. Tomorrow chilling with Caroline, and everywhere I go, money rolling in. A few these songs from the other side. Bend down, pause. Maybe just 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 bend down, pause. Maybe give me one to road.
You know, some I play that one for Tony Rebel. Yes, Tony Rebel. Remember that party there? Yeah.
Baby, dance to the melody. I got the girl them remedy. That's why the girl them follow me. Come on, baby, got the whoa, you killing it. Baby, show me your ability. Baby, wine to the rhythm and I want to know your ability. Easy car, yeah, from.
Always smoking. Lyrics like a bazooka. You are listening to Muta Baruka.
Say your name when I share the fast. Share the body chocolate like a kitty cat. Bring it back, oh baby, bring it back, oh. See the way you want like you clean that, oh. Oh my God, look at that overload, cause it's let's go slow.
So easy baby, I be biggie man. Plenty money but I no fat. Money long, I'm not too fast. I be number one, I know they carry last. I be like a fancy meal. Tomorrow chilling with Caroline. And everywhere I go, money rolling in. A few these songs from the other side.
Bend down, pause. Maybe just 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 bend down, pause. Maybe give me one.
RFM, number one radio station in the whole wide world.
Baby, dance to the melody. I got the girl them remedy. That's why the girl them follow me. Oh baby, got the whoa, you killing it. Baby, show me your ability. Baby, wine to the rhythm and I want to know your availability. I me like a fancy meal. Baby, dance, baby, kill the shit. Baby, move to the melody. Baby, bounce your booty, baby, just bend down, pause. 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 Baby, just bend down, pause.
Eu agi sem pensar. Juro por Deus, não tive a intenção de te magoar, amor. Eu sei que errei feio, mas infelizmente só mais tarde o arrependimento veio. Amor, te causei muito sofrimento, matei toda a confiança que tinhas em mim.
Yes, continue.
Okay. You know, if I sample, not this song here, the one just before it. You know, if I sample our original instrument in my use. Because I kind of hear a murder she wrote tonight.
No, let me tell you something, man. I can play a whole heap of them that sound like a song where you hear in Jamaica. Yeah, me have so much tune, so, and when I listen to them, even when I stand up in the party, I hear them, it sound like a piece of one of the tune them when I know in Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, I saw them do it, man. I saw them do it.
I one of the youth, I know I used to play them music like you, but they that New Orleans, I used at the university there.
Yeah.
That brethren used to play some music from around the world, and them go Africa, Morocco, and them places.
Yes.
Take some of them, and some from down Brazil.
Yeah.
The brethren used
Well, I
to
hear you play the African music, Brazilian music, and music from in Haiti and them places.
Yeah, man.
You see them, you know, nowadays, and now, as me I tell you, say, it's this year music, them are the music now where the young people them in Africa listen to now, yeah. If I know reggae, them I listen to, and them tune them I listen to.
So,
right.
You can hear the reggae flavor.
Yeah, the dancehall flavor. And most of the dancehall flavor you hear, not them, yeah. The reggae flavor come on after, but this is the dancehall flavor. All right, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Se saís por essa porta, a minha banda vai acabar. Vou ficar fosco no mercado. Se saís por essa porta, a minha banda vai acabar. Vou ficar paita. Eu sei que errei feio, mas infelizmente sou.
Oh, I forgot the next country I never mentioned was Angola. Yes. Yes, some of the music, I mentioned Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda. I never mentioned Angola. But them tune is taking you right round Africa. Except for Morocco. We never really go to Morocco and a different kind of music over there, so Arab influence over there, so, but yes.
A minha casa sem ti não é nada. Os meus carros sem ti não são nada. Não são nada, não são nada, mulher.
Yeah, you know, in the French Caribbean, a lot of the music in the French Caribbean sound like them come directly from Africa. Yes, and even soca. Well, yeah, soca. I will soca music sound like some music from the Congo, in a Zaire and them place there, where them call it Zoukos. And them have Zouk and them have Zoukos. Yes, you have the Zouk. The Caribbean Zouk from not Dominica, from Guadeloupe, Martinique. Yes, and you have the Congo, Zaire, up-tempo music. Tell you go at them party, them man. I tell you, man, you look at the people, them man, you could have ring them clothes, pure water, the amount of dancing. Africa not afraid for dance neither. Oh, Africa not stand up in a corner and move. But you know, Ethiopia is I mean, people might not want to hear this, but we're going to say it still. You know, in Ethiopia, the man them dance with the man them. I don't feel no way, because you can't think nothing about it neither. Yeah, man, one night, me and Rebel and Cabo and think we did a party, man, and see the man them a dance, and the man come over, come beg me a dance, you know. That, me say no, but true, me no use that culture, you know, it's an Ethiopian. Come look at me and say, look, don't even think about it. Don't think about it, you know, because it's just part of that style there, where the Ethiopian them, the man, just like a woman in a dance with the man in Jamaica. The man them dance with the man them in Ethiopia and have no weird thinking. I just so it go. It's like how you have a man kiss a man when a man greet him in a certain part or a Russia and them place. A man just kiss a man and no feel no way. You know what I mean? So it just cultures in different cultures. I was frightened when the man come beg me to dance. You know what I tell you? I was frightened when the man come beg me to dance. And I flatly refused to get up. It's a little situation there when we have Ethiopia and I tell you, I don't saw it going to Ethiopia. And time the man them turn up one side of the dance, the man them just grab the next man and start dance too. I don't know nothing. I just read that. Just like how we go to Africa and see the woman them not on the top. The young girl them not on the top. I just saw it go. I just saw it go. Them not on the top, you know, so them not married. When them married, them put on something on the top.
Eu sei que errei feio, mas infelizmente só mais tarde o arrependimento veio.
And in every part of Africa still, you know. You know, say in Ethiopia, you have certain part of Ethiopia where them have this disc where them put on them lip and stretch them lip. And the more them lip stretch, is the bigger the disc them put on the lip, you know. So them lip go way out so. And then them do to them ears too. That them put a disc in them ears. And when the hole get bigger, them put a bigger disc. And to them is beauty. That is beauty. You know, just beauty in beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To we, that look terrible. But in them thing, that man, see that man, chow me, I tell you, man. Him stand up stiff, like a soldier.
Faz o que você quiser, mas não vai embora. Então briga comigo, me dá um castigo. Me xinga, me bate, mulher, mas não vai embora.
So where I say that is because Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent with 50 different countries in it.
O que você quiser, mas não vai embora. Vai acabar, vou ficar fusco no mercado. Se saís por essa porta, a minha banda vai acabar, vou ficar feita. Eu sei que errei feio, mas infelizmente só mais tarde o arrependimento veio. Então briga comigo.
Okay, so as we said before, now, as you have been hearing, this is the trial of Governor Eyre, and this was done in Morant Bay last Sunday. You understand? And this is a dramatic presentation written by the lawyer Bridget named Bird Samuels, who I yell up Bird Samuels, and Oldgate is I think he is the director. I need to find out the name of the actor them doing now, Miss Tony. Before we don't play this, we need to find out the name of the actor them who act which part. You understand? Governor here acted by this, that acted by. So you have about 3 hours to find that out. Okay, so here we go now. Alright, make we take this call first. Yeah, here.
Yeah, Carboga, mother.
Wait, you never hang up.
Bad actress.
You never hang up.
Okay. But hey, what about the people them who put the ring them around their neck to stretch the neck?
Yes. That's South Africa, I think. That's South Africa.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I don't remember how it.
Yeah.
But you know, I want to put you to the people them too. I don't know if it happened at Jamaica. But you hear about the scam where the Chinese them are run on people of Kenya.
With the rice?
Ghana.
With the rice?
Yes.
Yeah, them a cut up plastic like rice and a mix it in the rice and sell people. You hear about it? You have to watch the rice on your toe.
Right, man, I say if you come from China.
What's that terrible thing that, man?
What, man?
The grain them look like rice, you know.
That's what me hear, I see the picture.
Yeah, so you can't tell no difference between the rice and the plastic them a cut up in there. And them a ship it to Africa and soon ship it come on your toe.
Yeah, them say Ghana and Kenya.
Yeah, that's terrible thing.
So far.
That's terrible thing.
Man.
Yeah, man, me hear about it, man.
Plastic.
Me hear about it. Give thanks.
All right. Man.
Yes. So here we go now. This is a dramatization of a trial that should have taken place 150 years ago and never take place after that brutal man slaughter many Africans in Morant Bay and slaughter some who never there in a Morant Bay to bring them to Morant Bay and slaughter them. The man named Paul Bogle, who was said to be the head of that. I know me won't say Paul Bogle the head of it. No. It's the woman who threw the stone in the every time you mention that one, they have to laugh. You need to find out the name of the woman too, you know. Sure. The woman who threw the first stone in the building that she caused the problem. And she caused the whole thing to start. Because Paul Bogle never go down there for broke the war, you know. Paul Bogle go down there to deal with that situation we are going at the court. And the woman say, oh, you can't turn up there and go like you, so I saw could see it. Through your D card, wham, she threw a stone in the courthouse. And that's how it starts. Well, why you find out the name of that woman, let you know. I have to put her somewhere, somewhere. I have to have her somewhere in my psyche, that woman. Okay, here goes.
Or the queen against the defendant. But in this court, it is the people against the defendant, Governor Edward John Eyre. But in this court, it is the people against the defendant, Governor Edward John Eyre. We are the people. This is Jamaica, and you will not be tried on behalf of the crown. Oh no. The crown for far too long has been far too concerned with floggings and hangings and burnings. This is a revolutionary court, because in these hallowed halls, you will be tried by the laws of history. This is a revolutionary court, because you are being tried by the laws of your time. This is a revolutionary court, because you are being tried by the laws of these times. This is a revolutionary court, because you are being tried by the laws of humanity and morality. Governor, you have been taken out of time and brought here to stand trial. Not on trumped-up charges, but on all the charges brought against you by various persons and civil groups since your calling for martial law in 1865.
All rise. This honorable court is presided over by His Lordship, Justice Batts. Be seated.
Mr. Prosecutor, what matter do we have here today?
For the records, my lord, this is the matter of the people against Governor Edward John Eyre, who is charged on an indictment for the offense of conspiracy to murder 439 citizens of this parish known as St. Thomas in the East. The prosecution has elected to make specific reference to 4 of the 439 which were killed, consequent to the declaration of martial law by Governor Eyre in this part of the island. The 4 deaths are, namely, the deaths of Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Mary Ward, and Letitia Gohagan. Governor Eyre is represented by my learned colleague, Counsel Mr. Carlisle, and I'm Mr. Gorry representing the people. Might the accused be pleaded at this junction, my lord?
Go ahead.
Stand, Governor Edward John Eyre.
Governor Edward John Eyre, you are charged for the offense of conspiracy to murder. And the particulars are that you, Governor Edward John Eyre, in October 1865 in the parish of St. Thomas, conspired with persons known and unknown to commit the offense of murder. How say you, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Very well. The names that are about to be called are the names of the jurors to try your case. If you wish to object to any of them, you must do so as they come to the Bible to be sworn. And before they are sworn, your objections will be heard.
My lord, on behalf of my client, Governor John Eyre, I wish to address you on the matter of bias. It is my humble opinion that my client will not be able to get a fair trial anywhere in the parish of St. Thomas in the East or any neighboring parish.
As of such, my lord, we are asking you to consider change of venue so that this trial may be conducted at the far extreme of the island in the parish of St. James or in Hanover, my lord, that lie at the extreme of the island far away from St. Thomas. May it please you, my lord.
I've given your complaint due consideration, and I rule that you, having failed to give concrete examples of connection to the deceased by potential jurors, I cannot act on speculation and take this duly appointed court to transfer the matter to another parish. I rule that the trial must proceed in this parish.
Yes, my lord. Number 18, Miss Sonia Anderson, farmer.
Miss Sonia Anderson.
Number 146, Miss Valerie Colson, postal worker.
Valerie Colson.
Number 38, Miss Joanne Bell, household helper. Number 328, Miss Sasha Smith, unemployed. Number 148, Miss Stephanie Koba, household helper. Number 92, Barrington Burgess, laborer. Number 117, Dolphy Campbell, cultivator. Number 21, Mr. Morris Everett, cultivator. Number 325, Miss Marva Smith, household servant. Number 10, Miss Junie Thompson Higler. And number 442, Mr. John Wiggins Butcher.
My lord, again I object. There's a law in this beautiful colony that you have to be a property owner, my lord, to sit as a juror. I've been practicing in this beautiful colony for the past 30 years, and it is known to everyone that not one of these persons own 1 square inch of property within this island. How can they be qualified to try my client, Governor Eyre, my lord? I strongly object to this.
Gone are the days when people will be denied their rights to vote or to serve as jurors simply because they don't own property, sir. Mr. Carlisle, haven't you heard that that law was repealed 2 weeks ago, sir?
My lord, again I see the unfairness. There has been a change in the law to facilitate my client being tried by any Tom, Dick and Harry. As the colonial office in England have been notified about this abrogation of the rights of Englishmen in Jamaica, my lord. This cannot be fair. Where has the justice gone in this country, my lord?
I suggest you take that up on appeal, Mr. Carlisle. Mr. Registrar, let's get on with the trial. The law is the law.
Yes, my lord. Members of the jury, please talk among yourselves, but select one of your members to be your foreman. Your foreman doesn't necessarily have to be a man, but a woman can also be a foreman. As soon as you have done so, please stand or raise your right hand. Please talk among yourselves. Very well. Mr. Foreman, members of the jury, the prisoner stand at the bar today stands indicted in the name of Edward John Eyre, charged with the offense of conspiracy to murder.
One moment, Mr. Registrar. I think you've got a little ahead of yourself there, sir. We have to call in the witnesses, please.
Oh, my apologies, my lord.
Witnesses, have a look at these persons and see if you know any of them. You know none of them? No, sir. No, madam. All right, thank you. You may go. Mr. Registrar?
As I was saying, Mr. Foreman and members of the jury, the prisoner at the bar stands in the name of Edward John Eyre, charged with the offense of conspiracy to murder. And the particulars are that the said Edward John Eyre in October 1865 in the parish of St. Thomas conspired with others to order the deaths of 4 persons, that is to say Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Letitia Gohagan, and Mary Ward. To this indictment he has pleaded not guilty, and it is your charge therefore, having heard the evidence, to say whether he is guilty or not.
Mr. Gorry.
Mr. Foreman and your members, this is a very important trial. You will recall that one of the bloodiest periods, both for the parish of St. Thomas in the East and the island of Jamaica, was that which occurred last month in October of 1865. This led to several deaths. That is the loss of life of 439 persons. You'll notice, however, that Mr. Foreman and your members, that we've indicted Governor Eyre only for 4 deaths. And you can only concern yourselves with those 4 deaths today. His Lordship will tell you, and no doubt Mr. Carlyle will tell you, that Governor Eyre, that you cannot allow any pre-trial publicity to influence you in how you arrive at the verdict. You cannot take into consideration sympathy for those who have died or sympathy for Governor Eyre in this matter. We do not expect that any of you serving are connected to the 4 deceased in any way, nor do we expect that you're connected to Governor Eyre in any way. The history of this matter is that Governor Eyre was appointed by the colonial government to become governor of the island of Jamaica, and under his watch, the executions were carried out against the defenseless people of Jamaica. We intend to call 6 witnesses for the prosecution. You will hear from Paul Bogle's mother, Cecilia Bogle. She will give evidence as to how she saw her son hanged at the insistence of Governor Eyre. You will also hear from the wife of George William Gordon, Mrs. Lucy Gordon, and she will tell you that Governor Eyre had a motive to unlawfully cause her husband's death. Her husband was far from the rebellion of the people, but nonetheless, Governor Eyre hanged him because he had a motive to do so long before the period of rebellion. And then you will hear from a court-martial witness to his kangaroo court set up by Governor Eyre, as well as the relatives of the other deceased. You will hear how these women were hanged, one of them in a state of pregnancy at the time of her hanging. You will also hear from an expert witness on martial law. In this matter, you will notice that the governor is being charged for conspiracy to murder. Mr. Foreman and your members, a conspiracy is a mere agreement to carry out an unlawful act, an unlawful killing. And the prosecution is about to show you that Governor Eyre cannot resist the evidence that will be led that he gave the orders for these persons to be executed. Further, the unlawful act is that these people were fighting for their rights, and they acted in defense of themselves when they acted in this uprising by the people of St. Thomas in the East. In other words, their actions were justified. And the actions of Governor Eyre were motivated by racism and a failure to give the people what they wished. Mr. Foreman and your members, it is my duty as the prosecutor in this matter to tell you that you must listen carefully to the evidence. And when you are through listening to the evidence, the lawyers will address you. And finally, His Lordship, Mr. Justice Batts, will direct you in law. But you are the sole judges of this case, and you must be. In coming to your verdict, if you are to come to a verdict of guilty, it must be that you have accepted the evidence that Governor Eyre conspired with persons known and unknown to carry out these vicious hangings against the 4 deceased without lawful reason or excuse. You must be satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt. And if you have any doubt in the matter, you must resolve them in favor of Eyre and in favor of Governor Eyre and return a verdict of not guilty. Now, if he is to be found guilty, you must be unanimous. That is, you all must be of the view that he is guilty, having considered the evidence and applied the law. If the verdict is divided, then there must be a retrial on this matter. My Lord, I'd like to call my first witness at this time, Mrs. Cecilia Bogle. Sergeant, could you call Cecilia Bogle, please?
Cecilia Bogle. Cecilia Bogle. Bible with your right hand. Recite these words.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give between this matter, sworn between the people and the prisoner at the bar, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Goodness, so my Lord.
Mr. Gorey? Grateful, my lord. Your name is Cecilia Bogle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you live in Stonygut in the parish of St. Thomas in the East?
Yes, sir.
Were you living in the parish of St. Thomas in the East last month in October of 1865? Yes. With whom?
With me 5 children, sir.
And of the 5, what number is Paul?
Paul is my second child.
Mrs. Bogle, what was your son Paul's occupation?
Farmer.
Would you describe him as a leader in the community?
I don't know him as a leader, sir. He was a deacon, a man of God.
So he was concerned with the people's salvation?
Yes, and them living conditions.
Living conditions. Could you explain that further for the jury, please?
Well, he always used to say that the shepherd have to be concerned about how the flock eats. It's enough people starving down here, you know. And he always said, you can't talk to dead people about salvation.
So did he make attempts to ease the people's suffering?
Objection, my lord. This is a leading question.
Sustained. What was his relationship with the people, Mrs. Bogle?
He was a man of the people. I saw me growing. Him feed who him could feed, but that could only go so far. I teach them how to fish, sir. But I saw them catch fish. I saw the governor and the people them box it out of their mouth.
What do you mean by he taught the people how to fish?
Him teach them how free man fi behave, sir. What them people you call free and not free? A back and slavery them a try pan way. Free man supposed to walk and find food to feed himself. Free man not supposed to get beat up and lock up cause him cross land well locked down. Free man supposed to walk with dignity. Them things them my son talk up for. And them kill him feet, sir. Them murder him. Governor here make them murder my son.
Mrs. Bogle, I notice you're looking a little tired. Would you like a seat?
Thank you, sir.
Now, can you recall anything particular about last month?
Well, yes, sir. Me know say that my son take a group of people from Stonygut, Fimorant Bay. But me never did go with him, you see. When we come up now, me hear say the police them a look for him. One day me in a community. And me hear when police come, them a look for Paul. But a group of people, sir, they run the police them out of the area. And me only hear when them shout, stop work for the governor and cleave to the block. Well, after that, sir, my son have to run up and down and hide. Oh, me there with him sometime. Me even hear when he asks him around them to help him, sir. Because the whole of governor here, soldier and police, them a look for him, sir. And he never do nothing, you know. Oh my God.
Okay, Mrs. Bogle. So, do you know if he managed to hide successfully from the police?
He might for a couple days well. But after a while, them catch him, you see. And the maroon them catch him. The maroon them catch him and hand him over to them. Oh God, sir. When me hear, me rush go down Amorant Bay. Me uncle say when them lead him off in our room. And me hear say them a court martial him. When we go in there, I try go in there, sir. They'll never let me in at all. And I saw them try me poor son behind on me back. God. Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Can you continue, Mrs. Bogle? Do you know who was in charge of the island at this time?
Yes, sir. Governor Ear.
And do you know Governor Ear before today?
Yes, sir. 3 times in all, me see him. And him did that down there when them try me son. Him did down a Moran Bay too, sir.
And do you see Governor Ear before you in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir. See him sit down over there, sir. And that white man that kill off me son.
Do you remember anything in particular about the 11th of October, 1865?
Yes, sir. That time the day they carry me son to Moran Bay. See, they lead him out. Then go for one rope. And me see when they put it round my son neck. Oh God. Me not even look, sir. If you tell you the truth, me couldn't look. Me couldn't look, sir. Me couldn't look. Oh God. When me finally look up, sir, how Paul me see a swing from one rope. Oh God. They call him an in trial run for 5 minutes, you know, sir. And a 2 hour now when they are trying this man.
Do you know of your son involved in any illegal activity whatsoever around this time?
No, sir. The man just dead, you see. He was a deacon for Baptist Church. All me know is that him carry people from Stony Gut to Moran Bay. We listen to a trial. Cause them hear them a trial man for trespass from our land we locked down. And a sudden eruption start. That is how them come fi call up me son name and say I try overthrow government. I don't fear. A murder, sir. Murder. A plain murder, sir. And that white man they do it. Him do it. Him sign the paper that me hear.
Objection, my lord. This witness cannot bring hearsay to this court. My client must get a fair trial, my lord.
This is true, Mrs. Vogel. You can't say that unless you saw him sign yourself. It's called hearsay.
No further questions for this witness, my lord.
Mr. Carlyle?
Yes, my lord. Mrs. Bogle, in your evidence in chief to the prosecutor, you said your son was tried within 5 minutes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
But you personally wasn't present when he was being tried. Yes or no?
They never let me in, sir.
Mrs. Bogle, answer my question. That is not my question. Were you present when your son was being tried? Yes or no?
No, sir.
So, to be completely honest with the court and the jurors, you're really not in a position to say that your son's trial lasted just 5 minutes. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. You never did.
Thank you. Mrs. Bogle, are you sure that you're even able to recognize my client, the governor?
Yes, sir. Me more than sure me see him 3 times. Me not telling you that already.
Be calm, Mrs. Bogle. I have instructions that Governor Ear has never been in the parish of St. Thomas before October.
I must see him tell you that, sir. Me know say me see him already in a square. Right through in a chariot. Him and him big plant a friend them.
Mrs. Bogle, I suggest to you that you know that your son Paul was a troublemaker in the parish of St. Thomas.
My
you
son?
know that. Yes.
Troublemaker, sir. Where you get that? You did know him, sir.
No. The lawyer must put his questions to you. Mrs. Bogle, control yourself.
But, sir, how him come here tell me about my son? I feel me business, sir. Where him know?
Mrs. Bogle, I'm sorry. You're going to have to control yourself.
Mrs. Bogle, do you know that your son, Paul, along with armed men, guns and machetes, were hiding from the police in the bushes of St. Thomas?
Yes, sir. Them was hiding because the police them did want to kill them. So you wouldn't did hide if police a try kill you. I mean, no know about no gun, you know, sir. The man them have them cutlass. The cutlass are for them own. I eat them a use from slavery, sir. Nobody can stop we from use with cutlass. No know about no guns, you know. I mean, son no criminal.
Do you know that your son and others went to mash up a court sitting in St. Thomas?
No, sir. All me know is that him take some people go down a courtroom. Courthouse freeze, sir. Them go down there to listen if justice was given out. Because me tell you now already, the magistrate them and the planter them afraid.
So what are you saying, Mrs. Bogle? Your son Paul was an angel. That is
Yes,
what you're
sir.
saying?
Him a more angel. See the devil back of you there. Him a the devil.
Mrs. Bogle, I've told you once, I've told you twice. You need to contain yourself. Look, I understand that you have lost your son, but this is a trial where you have to follow the rules.
Thank you, my lord. Mrs. Bogle, I suggest to you that your son is no angel and that he's a criminal. Your son was a criminal.
Like you!
Mrs. Bogle, this is the last time.
You're aware that your son was planning to overtake the government of Jamaica, duly appointed by Her Majesty?
Appointed by Her Majesty, sir. They were not free long time. Slavery no gone.
Answer my question. Do you know that your son, Paul, was trying to overthrow the government of Jamaica? He and his son, he and his friend, my apologies, his friend George William Gordon.
No, sir. But who no kill off Gordon too. And he never even did it.
And finally, you're here to make up stories as if your son Paul was a saint and he was a criminal seeking to overthrow the lawful appointed government of Jamaica.
Them not appointed by me, sir. Because me can't vote. Me never voted here. And my son is no criminal.
My lord, no further questions for this witness. She's not helpful.
Sorry, any re-examination?
Yes, my lord. Mrs. Bogle, has your son ever been charged and convicted for any offense whatsoever before his
sir.
death?
Him have a clean sheet. Him have a clean sheet. Judge, him have a clean sheet.
Thank you, Mrs. Bogle. My lord, I'm through with this witness. No further questions.
Thank you, Mrs. Bogle.
My lord, the next witness is the wife of George William Gordon, sir. Could she be called Mrs. Lucy Gordon?
Yes.
Sergeant, could you call Mrs. Lucy Gordon, please? Registrar.
Mrs. Lucy Gordon. Mrs. Come for me, please.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence that I give in this matter, sworn between the people and the prisoner at the bar, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Mr. Gorey, you may commence your examination in chief.
Grateful, my lord. Mrs. Gordon, I know this is going to be hard for you, but I need you to try and answer these questions.
Yes, sir.
Where do you live?
St. Andrew, sir.
And what is your age?
I'm 40 years old.
And your husband? Do you know what his age was at the time in October of last month?
Yes, he was born 1820. He was 45.
And he lived with you at the time of his death?
Yes, sir.
What was his occupation?
He was a legislator in the House of Assembly and also a farmer and a politician.
And did you hear about what was happening in the parish of St. Thomas in the East in the middle of October last month?
Yes, I did.
Where was your husband during that period, Mrs. Gordon?
We were together in St. Andrew, sir.
Did you ever see him visited by Paul Bogle at this time?
No, Deacon Bogle never came there, none at all, during October.
And where was your husband at all times during that month?
He never leave the parish, sir, not even for one day.
Mrs. Gordon, do you know the whereabouts of your husband now?
Dead and buried, sir. Dead and buried.
Do you know how he met his death?
He was hanged at the direction of that governor sitting right there.
Okay, Mrs. Gordon, you weren't asked that. Just take it one step at a time. I understand how you feel about this. Do you know what the relationship was between your husband, George William Gordon, and Governor Eyre in the latter part of this year?
Yes, sir, I know what the relationship was.
And how would you describe it?
Governor Eyre had no respect for my husband.
Why would you say that, Mrs. Gordon?
He felt that he was a traitor.
Why?
I have a letter written by my husband in his own writing. That's
objection.
Mr. Carlisle, what is your objection?
My lord, I can't see the relevance of this letter that this witness is relating to. All it is being done to use is to rile up sympathy for the jury. Why isn't the prosecutor calling any of the court-martial judges to tell us why they ordered the hanging of Gordon?
My lord, I'm doing no such thing. This letter is being read to show motive on the part of the governor, and it will explain why he had Mr. Gordon court-martialed. My lord, I intend to have it in evidence, and I'm laying a foundation for it to be an exhibit in the case, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Gorey. I rule that the letter is relevant.
Yes, Mrs. Gordon. You say that you have a letter
Yes,
in your
sir.
husband's handwriting?
Yes, sir, I do.
And how do you come to know your husband's handwriting?
Well, sir, I have seen him write several letters over 10 years of our marriage.
Registrar, could you please hand the witness the letter at this time? Mrs. Gordon, what do you have in your hand?
I have a letter written by my husband, sir.
And how do you know it?
I see his handwriting and I see his signature.
What date is on it?
3rd of July, 1865.
And it is addressed to whom?
It is addressed to the Colonial Office, London, England.
Lord, objection. This letter is not properly identified. This witness has said that she did not write the letter. She's not the proper person for this letter to go through, my lord.
My lord, what better witness you have to recognize a man's handwriting than his own wife of 10 years? She has said that she's seen him write on several occasions, and therefore, my lord, it is settled law. A layman can give evidence as to handwriting once the foundation is laid that he has seen the person write on several occasions. May I apply for it to be Exhibit 1 in this trial?
I'm ruling that Mrs. Lucy Gordon is qualified to read and recognize the handwriting of her late husband on account of the fact that she's seen him write several times. Objection overruled. Continue.
The 3rd of July, 1865. Greetings from the people of Jamaica. Every day we witness the maladministration of the law by Governor Edward John Eyre, and we must now speak out. He is endeavoring to suppress public opinion, to pen up the expression of the public indignation, but I tell you, it will soon burst forth like a flood and sweep everything before it. There must be a limit to everything, a limit to oppression, a limit to transgression, a limit to illegality.
Okay, Mrs. Gordon, I understand how you feel when you have to look over these prophetic words by your husband, but please, try to contain yourself. Do you recall the 14th of October last month?
Yes, I was at home, and the police came to my house, and they took away my husband. And I asked them where they were taking him, and they said that the governor had sent for him.
What governor, ma'am?
Governor Eyre. Governor Eyre, sitting right there, sent for my husband.
And do you know why?
All I can tell you, sir, is that after my husband wrote that letter, Governor Eyre had no further use for him. He called him up and he said, "Oh, you're a troublemaker in the island of Jamaica."
Objection again, my lord. There's no evidence that this witness was present at that meeting with George William Gordon. I strongly object to this.
Objection upheld. Mrs. Gordon, you can only refer to things that you have seen with your own eyes.
Yes, my lord.
Mrs. Gordon, the judge has ruled that you can't speak of the meeting with George William Gordon and Governor Eyre after he had written that letter on the 3rd of July. But what is it that you are really saying here, Mrs. Gordon?
I know for a fact, my lord, and the jury, that Governor Eyre hated my husband.
Exactly, Mrs. Gordon. So as you were saying before you were interrupted, he was taken by the police from your house?
Yes, and I tried to go where they had taken him to look for him, but they wouldn't allow me, as his wife, to go in. He was a sick man, you know. He was a sick man, my lord. When they took him for his house, they took him, a sick man, and tried him. No jury was present. I was not allowed to go in there. It was court-martial. Is that justice?
Mr. Foreman and your members, be quiet, please. You cannot show any emotions in the courtroom.
So are you saying, Mrs. Gordon, that you were unable to see the trial of your dear husband?
No, sir, I was not. But what I did see, though, was his execution.
You managed to go there and you were able to look at it, Mrs. Gordon?
Yes, I was, sir. I had to. He had written to me, you know. He had written to me 1 hour before he was hanged.
Are you referring to a letter that that's not going to be in evidence, Mr. Gorry?
Certainly not, my lord. We have the letter right here.
Any objection? Defense?
No, my lord, no objections. Whenever we object, it's never meted out with approval.
I trust that you're not saying I am unfair.
Those are not my words, my lord.
Mr. Registrar, could the letter please be handed to the witness at this time? Now, you said that you have a letter written by your husband. What date was on it?
Everybody knows that date, sir. It was the day that he was hanged. An innocent man.
And that letter in your hands, Mrs. Gordon, do you recognize it as the letter he wrote before he was hanged?
Yes. The handwriting is very bad. Because he wrote this 1 hour before he was hanged. And he gave it to a soldier to give to me. And I read it. And I cried. My lord, if you see this paper is my own eye water on the last words of my dear husband.
Mrs. Gordon, do you want a couple of minutes to compose yourself?
Yes, please, my lord.
Do you wish for the court to adjourn so you can properly
No,
compose?
Judge, no, for the sake of my husband, I will be strong.
My lord, may she read the letter to the court?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mrs. Gordon.
I do not deserve this sentence, for I never advised nor took part in any insurrection. All I did was to recommend to the people who complained to seek redress in a legitimate way. Say to all friends an affectionate farewell, and that they must not grieve, for I died innocently. Comfort your heart. I certainly little expected this. Do the best that you can, and the Lord will help you. And do not be ashamed of the death your husband will have suffered. I thought His Excellency would have allowed me a fair trial. If any charge of sedition or inflammatory language was partly attributable to me, but I have no power of control. May the Lord be merciful to me. I have been allowed 1 hour. I wish more time had been allowed. And now, may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with us all. Your truly devoted and now nearly dying husband.
Mrs. Gordon, are you sure you can continue?
Yes, my lord, I was through.
And how is it signed?
Joe, it's signed G.W. on my lord.
My lord, may I apply for this to be Exhibit 2 in this trial? Lord, I'm going to ask that both the letters be given to the jury at this moment so that they may have a look at them.
Any objections, defense?
Certainly, my lord. I think that when they go to the jury room, that is the opportune time for them to look at these letters, my lord.
My lord, in any trial, the exhibits can be given to the jury during the trial.
My ruling is that the jury is allowed to have the exhibits prior to going to the jury room. Mr. Registrar, you may hand the letters, please.
Again, I see a clear attempt to prejudice the minds of the jury. They should be listening to the evidence, my lord. This cannot be a fair trial. I must bring it to the attention of Her Majesty in Council.
You are free to take it on appeal, Mr. Carlyle. I have tried to protect this accused as I have done with all the accused who appear before me. Nothing more, nothing less.
Oh, God. My lord.
Mr. Foreman, you remember you are not allowed to be emotional about this case. Be careful.
My lord, this is again what I was referring to. This was my fear, my lord. Juror number 7 is crying. She should be excluded from the proceedings. She has shown up a clear bias against my client, my lord. This is a clear-cut bias.
My lord, you will not be able to avoid any expressions of emotion in a trial such as this. No reason is being given for her crying. We don't know whether she's crying for the governor, as the accused, or for the deceased, and we are not allowed to inquire, my lord.
My ruling is that the juror can remain. Mr. Gorry is correct. We will not give the reason for the crying, nor will we inquire into it.
May we proceed, my lord? The jurors are through with the letters.
Yes, Mr. Gorry, continue.
Mrs. Gordon.
Yes, sir.
You said that while your husband was being tried, you were excluded.
Yes, I was, sir.
Now, do you know the verdict?
Yes. My husband was sentenced to hang. An innocent man, sir.
And did you attend the execution?
My lord, this question has already been asked and answered. What are we doing here, my lord?
Sustained.
I went to Montego Bay, and then I went on, and he wasn't there. I was looking for him. And then I heard that he was in St. Thomas in the East. So I went to Morant Bay, and he was hanged, along with Paul Vogel on the same day.
My lord, we are here for the death of George William Gordon. No one else to this witness, my lord.
Mrs. Gordon, you must only speak to the death of your husband and none other.
Yes, my lord. I rushed out to St. Thomas in the East, and I saw when they cast the rope around the neck of my dear husband. And I saw him remove his glasses and give them to a soldier. And then they hanged him. And they never even blindfolded him. He saw his own death coming, and he could not stop it.
In a trial such as this, I can understand why this witness has become so weak. We'll have to be patient with her.
Mrs. Gordon, you've been doing very well. and I commend you for your strength. But unfortunately, there is still more to come. From that letter you read, that second letter, Exhibit 2, where your husband used the words, "I thought His Excellency would have allowed me a fair trial." Do you know what excellency he was talking about?
Governor Eyre, sir. We refer to Governor Eyre as His Excellency. It was he who denied my husband a fair trial because he was nowhere near the insurrection at the time.
My Lord,
nowhere near the insurrection.
My Lord, this witness continues to give evidence of things that she has no first-hand knowledge, my Lord. This is just...
Objection sustained.
It was murder. Murder. Governor Eyre, you are a murderer.
Mrs. Gordon, try and contain yourself. Finally, do you know of martial law?
Yes, sir. It was declared recently in St. Thomas in East.
And to your knowledge, was martial law declared in St. Andrew?
No, it was not, sir.
So when your husband was taken from St. Andrew back to St. Thomas, his lawyer was then able to see him, correct?
Correct, sir. He was not able to.
He was not able to. Okay. I'm through with my examination in chief, my lord.
Mr. Carlyle?
Yes, my Lord. Mrs. Gordon, you have accused my client of hating your husband. Isn't it true that you have no first-hand knowledge of this?
After that letter reached England, Governor Eyre was a changed man towards my husband. He sent for him, and when my husband came home, he was a sad man.
Madam, isn't it true that your husband directed Paul Bogle to riot against the lawfully appointed government of Jamaica? Your husband?
No such thing, sir. At no time did my husband ask Paul Bogle to use any violence at all. At no time was my husband in communication with Paul Bogle during the insurrection. It is a figment of Governor Eyre's imagination and nothing else that my husband acted along with Paul Bogle in the uprising of the people. Judge, may I just say one thing?
Mrs. Gordon.
Governor
Mrs.
Eyre
Gordon.
was upset because he felt that my husband's letter would cause his recall by the Colonial Office, and that is why he hated my husband.
Mrs. Gordon.
I am suggesting to you that you are well aware that your husband planned this insurrection along with Deacon Bogle.
Untrue, sir.
They were close, weren't they? Of the same Baptist church as George William Gordon.
Yes, yes, they were. And so what?
They were close at the political level and at the church level.
Yes, they were close on both those issues. However, they used no violence at all towards anyone in their endeavors to protect the poor people of Jamaica.
In that letter, though, that you just quoted, he said, where's Exhibit 1, Mr. Registrar? This letter, he said that it will soon burst forth like a flood and sweep everything before it. Based on this letter, your husband threatened violence. He threatened to use violence.
That was no threat. That was prophecy.
But you would agree with me that he was tried and found guilty, wouldn't you?
You call that a trial, sir? Where I could not go in? Where nobody could go in there? Where my husband could not get a lawyer to defend himself against these trumped-up charges? You call that a trial? That is no trial, sir.
Answer the question, Mrs. Gordon. Mrs. Gordon, I must caution you to answer only what you're asked.
My lord, he was allowed only 1 hour between a verdict of guilty and his hanging. Is that fair?
No, Mrs. Gordon. You cannot ask the lawyer questions. It is only the lawyer who can ask you questions in this sitting.
I'm sorry, my lord. I am sorry, my lord.
Mrs. Gordon, you didn't answer my question. Would you agree with me that your husband was tried and found guilty? Yes or no? It is a simple question.
Mrs. Gordon, please answer the lawyer's question.
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions, my lord.
My lord, may we have permission for Mrs. Gordon to go home? She lives all the way in St. Andrews, my lord, and it takes 4 hours for her to get there.
No objection, my lord.
I'll allow Mrs. Gordon to leave. You may go, Mrs. Gordon. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, my lord. I would prefer to stay, my lord.
As you wish.
My lord, at this time I'd like to call my next witness, Miss Caroline Grant. Registrar, if you would. Miss Caroline Grant! Miss Caroline Grant!
Stand. Take this Bible in your right hand and read this.
Please hold the Bible. Thank you.
And read this. All right? Repeat after me. I swear by Almighty God.
I swear by Almighty God.
To tell the truth.
To tell the truth.
The whole truth.
The whole truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
In the matter.
In the matter.
Concerning the people.
Concerning the people.
Versus the accused.
Versus the accused.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. This sword, my lord.
Mr. Gorey?
Thank you, my lord. What is your name, ma'am?
My name Caroline Grant, sir.
And where do
but
you
them
live?
call me Talawa in my district, sir.
And where do you live, Miss Grant?
I live in one district near Stony God, sir. But right now, I'm there at the General Penitentiary at Kingston, sir.
And why are you there, might I ask?
Well, me get tried. But I can tell you something, sir. What me face was no trial. Them bring me go a court martial, sir. You see, I never see court like that there before. You think some Moran be a court did bad? I don't want the bad. No lawyer for me. I mean not even get for call none of my people them. Peer governor soldier them, sir. Only white man try me, no, sir. 5-minute trial me get, sir. And them give me poor girl life in a prison. This is something me not even do, sir. Them left me 5 picnic them, fatherless and motherless. And them there with my granny now, sir. She not working, sir.
And what were you tried for?
Them say me asking, sir. Say me help burn down Moran courthouse. I mean not even did it. I call no witnesses of me not the Moran be much less to burn down courthouse, sir.
Tell us what you know happened after martial law was declared.
Me God, sir. A 1 month now me they are prisoner, sir. But the bloodshed, the killing and the balling are mad me still. Them beat man, woman and picnic. Flag them like in a slavery days, sir. Them take revenge on the innocent for all what happened, sir. I have to tell you the truth, sir. This would have never happened if the people them could have never take no more. Look how they can him take for himself.
Objection, my lord. This is speculation. The witness cannot speak to the minds of others. She can only speak to things in her personal purview, my lord.
Mrs. Grant, you can only speak to things within your own personal knowledge.
But it's personal, sir. Me personally hear the people then say that them could have never take it no more.
Mrs. Grant.
All right.
Miss Grant, who do you refer to as the deacon?
Bogle, sir. Deacon Bogle. Look how him beg and plead with that man there. Eh? Look how far him walk on him foot go a capital at Spanish Town and the man not even come out and talk to him. Him go for petition him, you know, sir. And if him did only listen to Deacon, none of this would have happened, sir. And him make over 400 people dead, sir. And then when him done, him hang the very man which I prevent all of this disgrace and bloodshed for our parish. This whole...
Is there something further you'd like to add, Miss Grant?
All me have to say, sir, is that me they are prison. But I thank God I live to tell this story. Yeah. And a man there responsible for the massacre in Jamaica. Because of him and his stubborn, wicked self make all of this come down our way. And none of us, sir, never get a fair trial. Lord, may all of them we hang, soul rest in peace.
Thank you, Miss Grant. No further questions at this time, my lord.
Mr. Carlyle?
Yes, my lord. Miss Grant, or Taloa, as your name suggests, I put it to you that you are a known troublemaker in the parish of St. Thomas. You!
Me no know nothing about no trouble in us, sir. Me just big and bold.
Yes, a big and bold troublemaker. That is why you went to burn down the courthouse in St. Thomas.
Me never even did that, sir.
So you want us, the court and the jurors, to believe that you, as a big, bad and bold troublemaker and robber-rouser, wasn't there. I put it to you that you were very much there, and that is why you came in here shackled, serving a term of imprisonment at the General Penitentiary.
Me, sir?
Yes, you.
Me? You did that?
No, Miss Grant. You are not allowed to question the lawyer. You must answer Governor A's lawyer's questions now.
Sorry, sir, but me know me never did that, so I don't know how you want to word in my mouth.
I suggest to you that you, along with hundreds of people, wanted to take matters in your own hands. That is why you went and burned down the courthouse, and you come in here with your pack of lies to deceive this honorable jury. You're a liar.
God, I me judge me say me never did that. You know, see, hundreds of we prison innocent if you were not even know about, sir.
I'm concerned about you. No further questions, my lord.
That's our evidence, my lord.
You may step down, Miss Grant. Next witness.
The next witness, my lord, is the sister of Letitia Gohagan, resident of Stony Gut. Officer, if you could please call Paula Gohagan.
Paula Gohagan, come please. To the witness stand.
Take this Bible and read.
I swear by Almighty God to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this matter of the people versus the prisoner at the dock. So help me God.
Thank you.
Mr. Gorey?
Hello. Thank you, Miss Gohagan. What is your address?
We live at Stony Gut into St. Thomas in the East, sir.
And do you have a sister?
Yes, me have one sister, Letitia Gohagan, sir. Where they hang. They hang her with 5-month belly, sir. 5-month belly.
Tell me, in October of this year, do you know where she was living?
Into a house at Stony Gut, sir.
And what state did you say she was in at that time?
She have a 5-month belly, sir.
My lord, this question was asked and answered. Where are we going with this, my lord?
Apologies, my lord. Do you know what happened?
Me and her go down Amarant Bay because we have one cousin where they on trial for trespass and we go for give support. And they sentence him to prison for one plantation where they say he trespass pan. How do we lock down how much years back, sir? And they sitting bone my sister, sir. She take one stone and fling in at the courthouse and they run her down. And it look like so the police them know her good. Cause shortly after that they come and arrest her, sir, and drag her out there, sir. 100 and we get killed, you know, sir. And sir, after they drag her out there, you know, sir, would you believe me,
Mr.
sir?
Prosecutor, you must control your witness.
Okay, my lord. Next question. What happened to your sister, Miss Cohagan?
Them carry her, sir. And them put rope round her neck, sir. Them rope the woman with her belly, sir. And drag up the rope and hang the my sister, sir. The poor sister don't even get a trial. You know so they flag her before they hang her, sir? You see it with me one eye. I don't even know if I this her devil in her belly, sir. I'm hang the woman with her belly, sir.
And how do you know it was your sister?
A daylight them hang her, you know, sir. Broad daylight. I see her. My sister when me grew up with. You know, see her my little sister, sir. And you see that man never sitting over there like he can't match hands. And him give the order for kill off the hundreds of people and my sister. He never have no mercy upon the breeding woman, sir.
And how do you know it was the defendant that gave those orders?
They know he my governor, sir. That must him give the order. Nothing like that couldn't go on without him say so. Who no think say people are idiot? And him give the order.
Of course, Miss Cohagan. No further questions, my lord.
Mr. Carlyle?
Yes, my lord. I think I have one question. Ms. Cohagan, you personally, you weren't present and you didn't see Governor here giving any orders for anybody to be hanged, did you?
No, sir. Me never present. Me only say him are the governor. I must him give the order.
So what you're saying to the court and the jurors is that you're really not sure and what you're doing in court is making an assumption. You're not sure. Isn't that so?
Ms. Cohagan?
Answer my question.
No, sir.
I see. So you weren't there either, were you?
No, sir.
Thank you.
Me never did it. Like how him never did it when the courthouse burned down. But he kill off 100 of people for things where him never see. Sir.
My lord, no further questions for this witness who wasn't there. May it please you.
Thank you, Ms. Cohagan.
The next witness for the people, my lord, is John Stewart. Officer, could you please call John Stewart at this time? John Ward. Sorry, officer. John Ward, not John Stewart.
Mr. John Ward? Yes, sir. Come, please. To the sergeant.
Take this Bible in your right hand.
I don't swear, sir. It's against my religion to swear, sir.
Let the witness be affirmed.
Read this affirmation.
I affirm by Almighty God to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter concerning the people versus the accused. So help me God.
Will this affirm, my lord?
Mr. Gorey?
What is your name, sir?
John Ward, sir.
And do you know why you're here?
Yes, sir. Them kill off my pitness, sir.
Where did you live in October of this year?
I live in one district near Stony Gut, sir. Me and my daughter and her mother, sir.
And where is her mother at this time?
Sir, from here, the same daughter, you know, sir. It's like he get off her head in the run of my house now, sir.
And did your daughter, Miss Ward, have any children?
Yes, sir. In dead left one 5-month pitney, you know, sir. Them kill off my pitney. Left me for raise one 5-month pitney, you know, sir.
Sir, do you know what happened to your daughter?
Them hang her, sir.
Why was she hanged?
They said they charge her for rebellion, sir. Never know say one charge in rebellion before this, you know, sir. Soldier court. Them care about the soldier court, sir. And them tried without the law, you know, sir.
When you say him, who do you mean?
I saw we talk, man. I saw we talk. Them try her without. I'm a daughter we talk, man. She don't murder nobody, you know, sir. Them say she a rebellion people, and them string her up without a real trial, you know, sir. God, man. Sir, them string her up. God. And sir, you know, sir, I know she alone them do this, sir. Hundreds of people them do this, you know, sir. Me see them take my classmates, sir, and hang him, sir. Me see them take poco people and string him up. Me see them take a woman with a belly, sir, and string her up and flag her, sir. What kind of man them is, sir? Oh, God, man.
My lord, the prosecutor refused to control his witness, my lord.
I'm afraid I have to agree with Mr. Carlisle. Mr. Gorry, witnesses must be controlled.
Yes, my lord. Mr. Ward, how do you know your daughter was hanged?
So me no go around the square, sir. Round a Moran Bay square, and me see when them string up my daughter, sir. She kicking up, sir. And she fight when they put the rope around her, you know. She scream, me innocent, and them still string her up, sir. Oh, God, man. What a disadvantage, sir. See, my daughter no get no lawyer, you know, sir. Mary, my daughter, burned down courthouse, sir. She never even did it when the courthouse burned down. Yes, me agree, the courthouse burned down, you know, sir. But them don't know how to do it. And who see, nah talk. I will see them a suffer too, sir. Oh, God, I lie them tell about my picnic, sir. God, man. Sir, you know who control the court martial, sir? And the same governor man there where appoint the judge them and the magistrate them, sir. And the same one where they call Excellency, sir. Him, governor here, sir. And him appoint the magistrate them and the judge them, sir. And the whole of them, sir, a planter man, you know. And the whole of them back him, sir. And him appoint the people that must shoot my daughter, beat and flag her, you know, sir. God, man. What a wickedness, man. Them is a evil set of people, sir.
I know this is difficult for you, sir. But is there anything else at all that you'd like to add?
Sir, it's like a pure retribution take the land since the courthouse burned down, sir. It's like it a lucky in a wall heap of wickedness, sir. And from it burned down, it's like the wickedness fly free upon the people, them like a evil, sir. And I see them where, sir, court martial come after courthouse burned down, sir.
I object, my lord.
And the governor evil, fly free upon the people, them, sir. Him evil, sir.
Mr. Ward.
Cannot be allowed to speak to everything, my lord.
I agree with you with defense. Mr. Gorry, control your witness.
No further questions, Lord.
Mr. Carlisle.
May I proceed, my lord?
You may.
You, sir, you don't know who gave evidence against your daughter, do you?
No, sir. Because it was not a public trial. Court was supposed to try in a public, sir. But whoever do it, I lie them a tell. Because my daughter don't but no courthouse, sir. It's lie them telling. All of them is lie.
Listen to what I'm asking you carefully. Do you know this governor personally?
Him name here, sir.
Do you know him personally, the governor?
No, sir.
So you're not in a position to speak to his friends, are you?
So me no see them a string up my daughter, sir. Me see them over the square and string up my daughter, sir.
That is not the question I'm asking you. You spoke of his friends earlier. You don't know him personally, so you're not in a position to speak to this man's friend. Or friends, as the case may be.
No, sir.
And you personally don't know the soldiers or the persons that hanged your daughter. You personally don't know them.
You want me to point them out, sir? If you bring them, I can point them out, sir. Me know them.
I'm suggesting to you that you're not in a position also to speak to whether or not those persons, the governor and the magistrates are all friends. You're not in a position to say that.
No, sir.
Thank you, my lord. No further questions.
I'm finished with this witness, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
My lord, the next witness for the prosecution is Mr. James Stephen. Could he be called at this time?
Mr. James Stephen. Mr. James Stephen. Sir. Sir, to the witness.
Take this Bible in your right hand and read these words.
I swear by Almighty God to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, in the matter concerning the people versus the accused, so help me God.
Thank you.
Chagori.
What is your name, sir?
James Fitzjames Stephen.
And what is your occupation?
I am a barrister, sir.
Where do you live?
London, England.
And how long have you been a barrister, Mr. Stephen?
22 years.
Why are you here?
I have been asked to give detail about the purpose and limits of martial law in the English legal and constitutional system.
And why should you be the one to give this evidence?
I have 20 years of experience in law. I have appeared before several courts in London, and I have also advised Parliament on martial law.
My lord, could Mr. Stephen be treated as an expert witness on martial law?
I don't see why not, Mr.
No
Carlyle.
objection, no objection.
Mr. Stephen, have you reduced your opinion on this matter in writing?
Yes.
My lord, at this time I seek permission for the expert witness to read his opinion for the court.
Permission granted.
Go ahead, Mr. Stephen.
I am of the opinion that the officers sitting had no legal powers at all as a court-martial that could justify the execution of Mr. Gordon. They could only justify the execution of Mr. Gordon if they could show that that step was immediately and unavoidably necessary for the preservation of peace and the restoration of order. They had no right whatsoever to punish him for treason, even if he had committed it. Their province was to suppress force for force, not to punish crime.
Mr. Stephen, where was court-martial declared in October of this year?
On October 13, the governor of the colony of Jamaica declared the county of Surrey to be under martial law, with the exception of the city of Kingston. He also ended the martial law period on October 20th, 1865.
What about the parish of St. Andrew, Mr. Stephen? Was that under martial law at this time?
No.
Mr. Stephen, where was George William Gordon apprehended?
St. Andrew.
And where was he tried?
St. Thomas, in the west. East.
In the east. Is it your opinion, Mr. Stephen, that Mr. Gordon was apprehended and tried illegally?
Yes. That is my opinion.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen. So, how does this affect Mr. Gordon's execution on the 23rd of October in 1865?
No court martial could have legally been held after October 20th. Therefore, Mr. Gordon's trial and subsequent execution by a military court was illegal. It was also immoral and downright preposterous.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen. My lord, I have no further questions for this witness.
Mr. Carlyle?
Mr. Stephen,
Mr. Carlyle.
you personally wasn't present at the trial of George William Gordon, were you?
No, I was not.
I see. In fact, you weren't even in Jamaica in October. Were you, Mr. Stephen?
No, I was not.
I see. So you don't know what happened at all during that period, do you?
I can read, sir, and I was informed. On the basis of the information that I received, I have given this honorable court my expert opinion.
So your expert opinion, as I understand it, is based on what others have told you and not what you have seen for yourself. Is that so?
On the basis of the information that I have received, I have given my expert opinion.
No further questions, my lord.
My lord, I'm through with this witness. And at this time, the prosecution rests. On behalf of the people, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens. You may step down. Mr. Carlyle, you indicated that you are ready to go ahead with the defense?
Certainly, my lord.
Now, let me make this clear to your client. Stand, Governor Eyre. There are three options open to you in your trial. You may wish to remain silent and say nothing. That is your right. You can give a statement from where you are. It's called a statement from the dock, where you cannot be questioned by anyone and give your side of the story, which is your defense. Or you may choose, as has done all the other witnesses in this case, to give evidence, sworn testimony, where you can be questioned by the prosecutor, the judge, or members of the jury. What is your client's option, Mr. Carlyle?
In a bid to vindicate himself, my lord, he will certainly give evidence under oath.
Very well.
Governor.
I swear by Almighty God, that the evidence I shall give in this my trial shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. You give your full name and address for the record, please.
My name is Edward John Eyre, and I was born in England.
May we also have your address?
My family home is in the borough of Wandsworth in Berkshire.
Governor, could you say how you happen to be here for your trial today?
Yes, sir.
Tell us.
I carried out my duty as governor in this island at the time of rebellion.
Governor, what was your occupation while in Jamaica in October of this year?
I was governor.
Governor for how long exactly?
3 years, sir.
You're standing here, Governor, for the trial of 4 persons. Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Letitia Gohagan, and Mary Ward. You know of this?
I heard the names mentioned in the indictment, sir.
Governor, before you go any further, how do you plead to the charge of conspiracy to murder these people?
I am innocent, sir.
Tell us and the jurors why you say you're innocent, Governor.
In my role as governor in October, when this island was plunged into rebellion, I acted.
What exactly did you do?
As governor of this island, I took the steps that were necessary for the protection of the colony.
These steps included what exactly?
It came to my attention that the attacks on the planters and the plantations and the widespread nature of the rebellion among the people, it became necessary for me to take the decision to declare martial law.
I see. And having declared martial law, what did that mean?
As you are well aware, sir, martial law means the suspension of all civil liberty. Trials are carried out by court-martial run by officers of the Crown. But I only did so, sir, in defense of the realm over which Her Majesty appointed me to preside.
I see. Do you, as of today, still stand by that decision to declare martial law?
Yes, sir, I do. The country was in danger of succumbing to rebellion.
I see. Are you aware that there was a commission of inquiry into what had happened?
I understand this is so, sir, and I support any such inquiry, and I believe it should be such inquiry that is appointed to state the steps that were taken and the reasons given justified the declaration of martial law.
I see, Governor. You were in court and you heard the testimony of Mrs. Gordon.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the legislator, George William Gordon, had complained to the colonial office about the way you were running this island?
Yes, sir, I was so aware, and he was within his right to do so.
And in fact, his wife said that this was the cause for your ordering that he should stand trial by court-martial proceedings.
That is not so, sir. I had no part in that matter. He was tried by the court-martial. I had nothing to do with it.
I see. Do you know George William Gordon personally?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you have any political differences with him?
Yes, sir. With him and with many others. But that does not mean it had anything to do with his being put on trial.
What of Bogle, Paul Bogle? Do you know him?
Yes, sir. He was a troublemaker and the ringleader of the uprising in St. Thomas. He interfered with court proceedings and attacked the courthouse.
Sir, you have been charged for conspiracy to murder these people. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Why is it that you say this? Is there anything like a particular structure?
Sir, court-martials were justified. The trials were carried out by these court-martials. The persons found guilty by these court-martials were guilty, and I cannot be held responsible for illegal killings. There's a structure, sir, in the government of Jamaica that allowed me to declare martial law. And as such, I cannot be held responsible for unlawful killings.
I see. Are you aware that one of the women that was hanged, that she was a pregnant woman? Are you aware that this woman was pregnant?
I presume that the court-martial were aware of this, sir, but this did nothing to do with me. It doesn't mean I am responsible for her hanging.
I see. I have no further questions, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Carlisle. Mr. Gorry, you have permission to go ahead.
Thank you, my lord. Governor Eyre, do you take responsibility for the poor conditions which infested the island that led to the suffering of the people of St. Thomas in the East and others?
Sir, I did my best at all times to look after the welfare of the people.
Governor Eyre, are you aware that in St. Thomas in the East in particular, there was a strong connection between the magistrates appointed by you and the planter class.
Sir, the magistrates are part of the society, and I have no control over who their friends are. All I know is that they took an oath of impartiality, and I have no reason to believe that they did not observe it, sir.
Governor, surely you must be aware of the complaints made to you in writing by several representatives of the people that persons were being convicted for trespassing on plantations which were locked down and were not in operation.
Yes, sir, these did reach my desk, and I appointed persons to investigate them. And as far as I'm concerned, they were well attended.
Governor, are you aware that the conditions in the lockups were less than subhuman?
The lockups are inspected by the public inspectors of health, and that guarantees that they're in good condition.
Were you aware that for very simple crimes, people were being shot by the police?
The matter of police brutality is a concern we gratefully. I ordered investigations of all sorts.
Governor, you're operating out of Kingston, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how is it that you managed to monitor that which was happening out here in St. Thomas in the East?
From time to time, I sent representatives to inquire of the magistrates, and they reported all was fine.
But Governor, you must have known of the alliance between the magistrates and the planters. They sided over and against the people for the planters time and time again. Is that true, Governor?
I know of no such complaint.
Governor, turning to George William Gordon. Did you have good relationships with him? Good relations with him? In October of this year, what was your relationship between yourself and George William Gordon?
Sustained, Mr. Gorey.
Yes, my lord. I am suggesting to you, Governor, that you well knew that George William Gordon was not part of the rebellion, yet you caused him to be court-martialed. Is that true?
I reject that, sir. Everything was done according to the law.
Governor, did you hear the letter written by Mrs. Gordon, the wife of George William Gordon, today at your trial?
I did, sir. But at no time did I act unfairly towards George William Gordon. He was associated with Paul Bogle, who was responsible for the destruction and loss of property in the parish of St. Thomas.
Governor, now that you are here, you are being tried by a jury. What do you know about persons who were tried by court-martial without jury, sentenced to hang, and those executions were carried out? Wasn't it possible for you to stop those executions, Governor Eyre?
Sir, I had no intention of interfering with the law. It would have been wrong of me to interfere.
Governor, are you aware of the public outcry in England that many persons there have criticized your handling of this rebellion?
Yes, sir. I believe some liberals have been going around with placards. But I gather the majority of Englishmen support me and the actions I took to preserve the colony.
Governor, I suggest to you that you conspired. That is, you agreed to the railroading of the law and setting up of courts-martials which carried out unlawful trials and caused innocent persons, 4 innocent persons and more, but 4 at the moment, namely Paul Bogle, George William Gordon, Letitia Gohagan and Mary Ward. You caused all of them to be killed in a kangaroo court set up by you!
Kangaroo court? I reject your request.
Are you aware, Governor, that many people were tried for 5 minutes and you go on like that? Hung without trial.
I was not.
He's badgered witness, my lord.
Mr. Gorey.
Apologies, my lord.
I was not informed of the day-to-day happenings in the rebellion. I was busy outing fires.
Outing fires? Was there a rebellion in St. Andrew then, Governor Eyre?
No, sir. I put down the rebellion before it could spread to the rest of the island.
Was martial law extended to St. Andrew?
No, sir, it was not necessary.
I put it to you that you moved George William Gordon to St. Thomas in order to try him under martial law because of your animosity towards him. Is that the case?
No, sir.
I put it to you that you used martial law well beyond the time when there was no further threat to the state so that you could eliminate your enemies. Is that so, Governor Eyre?
No, sir.
I put it to you that in doing so, you facilitated and also conspired to murder innocent men and women. Is that the case, Governor Eyre?
No, sir.
Let us be sure that we fully understand the sequence of events.
Yes. I would not like you to be confused, sir.
Then help me clear up any confusion so that the jurors who do not have your knowledge of statecraft and law can understand.
I can but try.
You declared martial law on October 13th, correct?
Yes, sir, in consultation with my Council of War, we felt
Just
that...
answer yes or no, Governor Eyre. We do not want to confuse the jury with your feelings.
Yes.
You appointed the officers to implement martial law and hold court-martials, correct?
Yes.
And these officers reported to you as their commander-in-chief. Is that so?
Yes, through their own commander, yes.
And it was his duty to keep you apprised of the events in St. Thomas in the East, correct?
Yes, but of course...
Yes or no will do, sir.
Yes.
Are you aware that some 439 people were killed?
So I am told, sir. I did not give any such order, but so I am told.
But the commander reported to you and was required to carry out your orders.
Yes, but...
Yes or no, sir?
Yes.
And you ordered the arrest of George William Gordon and his subsequent removal to Morant Bay for court-martial, correct?
No, sir.
But only you would have such authority, Governor Eyre.
Just because something has been done in my name does not necessarily mean that I gave a direct order.
That is true.
Really? So just to be sure that we are not all still confused, allow me to recap. By your admission, you declared martial law. By your admission, you appointed the officers to implement it. These officers caused widespread destruction of property and were responsible for the deaths of 439 people, many of whom were shot down in their own homes. George William Gordon was illegally moved to Morant Bay, tried and executed. And yet, you are not to be held responsible for any wrongdoing in these events.
Exactly. I was not responsible, and there was no wrongdoing.
Thank you, sir. I think we all understand now. But tell me, do you expect us to believe that you were unaware of the nature of the trials? Do you expect us to believe that you had no hand in the trials of those you deemed as potential troublemakers? Do you expect us to believe that you were unaware of the ongoing slaughter of innocents long after any possibility of insurrection had passed? No further questions, my lord.
But you have to...
I said no further questions, my lord. Apologies, my lord.
My lord, I have no re-examination for this witness. And we will not be calling any other witnesses on behalf of the defense.
Thank you, Mr. Carlyle. Governor Eyre, you may step down, sir. Mr. Gorey, not having called any witnesses means you are first to address the jury.
Thank you, my lord. There must be a limit to everything. A limit to oppression, a limit to transgression, a limit to illegality. Mr. Foreman and your members, these words spoken by George William Gordon are prophecy. Gordon speaks as if from the grave, guiding us as to what action should be taken against Governor Eyre. A man whose oppression of the people of St. Thomas in the East and transgressions against the same people ended with illegality, death, and destruction. It is clear that in his high-handed way, this governor, who was set to be a servant of the people, chose to believe and act as if he was above the law. This is the only possible explanation for his blatant disregard for human life. Your verdict must show him that no man is above the law. He is as equal as everyone else in here, including you, the members of the jury. Our law makes provisions for the right to life. Governor Eyre operated as if he had the right to take life. Even this shows the nature of the man. Although he was not on trial for the 439 people dead, or the 100 plus imprisoned, nor the over 600 flogged, nor the 1,000 homes burned to the ground, nor the livelihood of human beings destroyed, this too shows the nature of the man. This is a man who could go to St. Andrew and take a senior assemblyman from his home where there was no martial law and bring him to St. Thomas in the East and subject him to court-martial when he obviously was nowhere near the uprising and had absolutely nothing to do with it. There must be an end to his illegality. It must not escape your attention that when men who create the laws and when the men who are set up to defend the laws break those laws, they must be made to atone. Under the cloud cover of martial law, this governor used his friends to judge and kill his enemies. This cannot be a transparent system. He corrupted the very system that he was sent to uphold. You heard Mrs. Gordon. You heard Mrs. Gordon reading from a letter from her husband. You heard that her husband was nowhere near St. Thomas in the East at the time of the uprising. You can conclude from the evidence that Governor Eyre well knew this, but he had a vendetta against George William Gordon. He was upset that Gordon dared to have complained to the colonial office that he was mismanaging affairs of this country. This mismanagement led to the impoverishment of the people of your parish, Mr. Foreman and your members. I think you should have no difficulty in coming to your verdict of guilty if you believe Mrs. Lucy Gordon. The governor was motivated by spite and hate, and he caused the death of a legislator, an honorable man, when there was no evidence to connect him to the lawful uprising of the people who were suffering. It is because the legislator knew Deacon Bogle, a fighter for the people. It is merely because he knew him why the governor felt that he was connected to him. But to know a man is not enough to say that you are responsible for that man's actions. But let us go to Paul Bogle at this time. What wrong did Paul Bogle do? You all are in this parish and you know the connection between the magistrates and the planter class. You know how many of your brothers and sisters have suffered at their hands in the course of justice against bad decisions, because these trials are not held on a fair basis. They are carried out by magistrates on behalf of the planters. And where there is no justice, there can be no peace. And because there was no justice in St. Thomas in the East, the people had to rise up. As a representative for the Queen, who issued a declaration ending slavery in 1838, this man unilaterally declared a new form of slavery on the people of Jamaica. Then, when they rose up in arms, they were subjected to a brutal reprisal so great that its horror is reverberating around the world even as we speak. This one man claimed authority to take 39 lives with impunity. This one man without conscience oversaw the murder of pregnant women. This one man stared in the face of two honorable men of the cloth and hanged them because they dared to speak out against his atrocities. There must be a limit to everything. A limit to oppression, a limit to transgression, a limit to illegality. You have heard the testimony of the expert witness who shared that Governor Ayres continued abuse of his powers to try and execute people under the guise of martial law when the uprising had long been put down was illegal. In short order, Governor Ayres eliminated those who opposed him by executing them without a fair trial by their peers. He tried and executed men and women long after peace had been restored, and this falls outside of the provisions of law. This was illegal. This was murder. You remember Exhibit 1, where George William Gordon spoke that the conditions would lead to the uprising of the people. This is not to encourage uprising, it is to predict it, which is directly connected to the behavior and management of Governor Ayres. These uprisings were inspired and instigated by Governor Ayres' conduct, not by Bogle or Gordon. They merely responded on the side of the people. Mr. Foreman and your members, you should have little difficulty in rejecting Governor Ayres' explanation that he acted lawfully. The declaration of martial law against the people was premature, brutal, and unwarranted. And it is because there is no dispute in this trial that he authorized the court-martial, that he put in place trials which were a mockery, trials which had no members of the family present, and it was that persons were unable to retain lawyers to defend them properly. This indecent haste where persons lost their lives must be corrected by you in your verdict. May it please you, Mr. Foreman and your members, there must be a limit to everything. A limit to oppression, a limit to transgression, and a limit to illegality. Thank you, my Lord.
Thank you, Mr. Gorey. Mr. Carlisle?
Yes, my Lord. Mr. Foreman and your members, you have an awesome duty. You have heard all the evidence in this case, and you have taken an oath. If you're true and honest to that oath, to consider the evidence fairly, I want you to bear in mind the following. I want you to bear in mind that it was the Jamaican Assembly that voted in an emergency sitting for the passage of martial law. I want you to also consider that not one single solitary member of that assembly, apart from Governor Ayres, is charged jointly for the passage of martial law. Is that justice, Mr. Foreman and your members? This trial is a personal vendetta against the Governor Ayres. Very importantly, members of the jury, I want you to consider that all the witnesses seated here, with the exception of Ms. Talawa, was allowed to speak hearsay in this honorable court. In all my 30 years as a barrister in this beautiful island, I've never seen such an injustice. No trial has been founded or predicated on hearsay. The only witness that was present and that purportedly saw anything was Ms. Talawa. Members of the jury, you cannot rely on market talk. You cannot rely on your pre-trial emotions. You have to bear in mind the evidence. Martial law was enacted some 300 years ago, way before this governor. He came and saw the existence of it. The governor did what he thought was reasonable. The governor and the assembly declared martial law because it was his entitlement to do so. He did not, by any means, disobey anyone. He merely followed the rulings of the House of Assembly. Is it fair to place what had happened at one of the most dangerous uprisings in Jamaica at the feet of only one person? This cannot be fair. Her Majesty's subject, whom you have all appealed to, what would we do without Her Majesty? How can we live without her? We need her support. Where's the support of the Colonial Office? in this farce of a trial, Mr. Foreman and your members? Have we, like Haiti, broken away from the reign of Mother England? Aren't we still her humble subjects? Can Jamaica survive without the kind intervention and attention of Mother England? Won't this trial, think about it long and hard, threaten her support? If we put this honorable servant to death, you have to bear in mind the consequences, Mr. Foreman and your members. You may not know this, members of the jury, but the governor is celebrated in England as a person who had saved Jamaica from ruins. He put down an uprising which, if left unchecked, would have left the whole place, the colony, in turmoil. I ask that you remember these points carefully, Mr. Foreman and your members, and you must never forget that Governor Eyre had a responsibility in law for the good order and governance of this country. If there is an uprising, he has the necessary power. He must take the necessary steps to put it down. He was told that he was sworn here to protect the colony. I therefore ask that you look at his testimony. Do not approach it with any prejudice. Be not swayed by what you have heard about the governor. Be not swayed by the crocodile tears of some of the witnesses. I ask that you consider the evidence fairly, carefully, be impartial in your deliberations. The governor did all in his power to put down the looting, the burning, the wanton disregard for life. The entire island, as was indicated, was falling apart. He had to intervene and take the necessary steps to arrest the situation, to arrest the persons responsible, to hold somebody culpable for the burning of the courthouse, for the disregard for law and order. Paul Bogle was a rebel who wanted to take matters in his own hands, to use less than lawful means to get the outcome which he desired. He's not entitled to burn down or attack the courthouse or to destroy the judiciary. This was an act of insurrection. It's close to treason. Mr. Foreman and your members, should any of you, out of the knowing of the accused, personally or otherwise, render a verdict, this would be perjury, because you have taken an oath to return a fair verdict as it relates to the evidence. As I said, be not swayed by the bad rumors or the personal hate that might engulf this parish in respect of the governor. I ask that you give an honest and just verdict, because the process relates to fairness. This entire trial, Mr. Foreman and your members, is no better than the court-martial proceedings, because this trial is not fair. It is not a fair process. The witnesses were allowed to speak hearsay, save and except Ms. Tallowa. And if you're fair to send a message of justice, the fair verdict is one of not guilty in respect of the governor. May it please you, Mr. Foreman and your members. Lord, that's all.
Thank you, Mr. Carlisle. Mr. Foreman and your members, you have heard all the evidence. This is a criminal trial. Governor Eyre is presumed innocent. You cannot find him guilty because of any pre-trial publicity. You must not pay attention to any newspaper clippings that you might have seen or have been written. You cannot say that so many people have died, someone must pay for it. The person at the helm must be the one responsible. You have firstly to find that the declaration of court-martial was unwarranted, because it is the power of the governor to declare a court-martial. It is only if you think it was unwarranted, that is only if you think that the governor acted unlawfully, that you can arrive at the verdict that he's guilty of a conspiracy to murder. Looking at the death of George William Gordon, You must examine whether he acted out of spite. You must find, firstly, that George William Gordon was present and acted with Paul Bogle in this matter for him to be found guilty and to be executed as he was. As regards Paul Bogle, you must find, firstly, that Paul Bogle acted unlawfully, that he was part of a plot to overthrow the state, and therefore the governor would be right to take the action he did in ordering court-martial. Bogle either acted for the people and was just, or the governor acted for the colonies and is justified. It is you, the people, who have been entrusted to make this decision. You, the people, are superior on the facts. It is your verdict that must be given on this matter. I am the judge of the law. I cannot force your hand into one verdict or the other. You must look at all the deaths separately and come to your verdict in relation to each of the 4 counts on the indictment of conspiracy to murder. Do not take one and judge the other. And therefore, I'm going to ask you to retire to the jury room and consider what verdict you will give for this indictment, which has 4 counts of conspiracy to murder. Okay, officers, please take them to the jury room. Thank you. Okay.
Superwoman and the members, have you come to a verdict?
Yes, we have.
Is it unanimous?
Yes.
And you've come to a verdict on all 4 counts?
Yes.
Very well. How do you say guilty or not guilty? Conspiracy to murder, Letitia Gohagan?
Guilty.
How say you conspiracy to murder, Miss Mary Ward?
Guilty.
How say you conspiracy to murder George William Gordon?
Guilty.
And how say you conspiracy to murder Paul Bogle?
Guilty.
So say you one, so say you all?
Yes.
Governor Eyre, please stand. You have heard the verdict of the jury. My hands are tied as to what the law says will happen to you. Governor, I have no say, as I've said before. The sentence of this court is that you shall suffer death in a manner as prescribed by law. The people have spoken. Take him away. Be seated, Mr. Carlyle. Take him away. This session of the People's Court is adjourned. You have a light? Let me do it. Okay. I said this session of the People's Court is adjourned. Somebody said it. Yes? Oh.
Are we still on camera? Are we live?
I want a cash shot before you come out of cash shot.